And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
I'm over here bopping the R&B.
And as always, we have the lovely Crystal.
Hola.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm better now.
I'm glad you better. I'm glad you better. Um, and without further ado, I'm pretty sure whoever else comes, they're gonna come. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And the first topic we're gonna talk about is some Black unity in Montgomery, Alabama, aka the Alabama boat brawl. And for those of you who have lived under a rock, basically, I guess these white people they had their boats and they was in the way of a riverboat that was coming in. Black security guard was doing his job, telling them to move their boat so the people come in. White people felt entitled, jumped the security guard, and then next thing you know, one by land, one by sea, and a bunch of niggas that was skipping down a dock put the brake, beat the brakes off of us, everybody that was in there. So it had everything. It had hands thrown, it had chairs thrown. Anybody that was in the way got hit, men and women. And it's probably one of the greatest videos you're gonna see this year. So I come to the panel. What did y'all think about that whole Alabama broke brawl? By the way, D Wolf done into the chat. What up, D Wolf?
Yo, yo.
All right. But what are y'all thoughts on the Alabama boat brawl?
First of first of all, before that brawl happened, there was a spiritual session by the sisters. There was some sisters that pulled up to that water, and there was honoring the ancestors. And this was right before the brawl happened. So I don't know what enabled those ice clones to try and jump our good brother, but the ancestors got his back. And we especially have to shout out the 16-year-old who was swimming in the river, swimming in the water just to, defend his fellow brother. This is a lesson for every single one of us that when it comes to the bullshit that we are used to seeing, we do not have to take that shit lying down. If you see someone messing with your brother or sister, you go put the beat down brakes on them. If it can't be handled diplomatically, then it must be handled in a way to defend our brothers and sisters. And that's exactly what fucking happened. So, this Alabama boat bastrophe, as I like to call it, because we all blood in this bitch, you know, it warms my heart to see. And just to take a quick step back from Montgomery real quick, I also want to shout out the other brother in Detroit who had to put the beat down on another ice clone with the almighty folding chair. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't the folding chair that was only effective at Alabama, but also in Detroit as well. So shout out to that brother as well. And this is just a lesson that we will not take that shit lying down anymore. It's Black August. It's pull up summer.
anyone, anyone else has something to say about it?
Yeah, it was hilarious. The part because everybody has their favorite part. I think the favorite part for me was when the three guys was walking towards the boat. Like, yeah, what's up? What's good? So that was the funniest part to me because it's like they came out of nowhere. But that's about it.
Go ahead, D. If you got something.
Oh yeah, I remember just feel it. You just had a, you just felt good. I don't know, yo. When I was watching, I was like, yo, this is what I want. Like when things go viral and shit like that, and it ends well. Like that's what I'd rather see. So I remember having a good feeling. I was like, I ain't feel this in a while watching these like news stories and shit like that, Um, but I'm of the mind that yeah, because I found it interesting that when CNN reported it, they actually they're like 4 white men attacked. I was like, oh, okay, all right. I saw the video, but I'm like, I'm sure it got racist, but I don't think it started off racist because I know how these people are. They were having a celebration. These motherfuckers are drunk and did not want to move and did not want to listen. They got belligerent. And dude was doing his job, yo. Don't disrespect him. What you doing? And that signal, that was beautiful. When he threw that hat up, he was like, all right, you think it's gonna end with like, it's like, and Father, you mentioned the answer. It's like, what, yo, it's like, I feel like that correlates, you know? But yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. And I'm glad there's justice too, because they got caught and they were arrested too, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any like further details on that? On the end?
All the black folks got released, and 2 of them turned themselves in. But yeah, all of them that were on that boat got arrested, and all the black people were free.
Dion into the chat. What up, Dion?
What's good? Y'all talking about that shit that happened in Alabama?
Yes.
That shit was funny to me. I'm sorry, that shit was funny to me.
I'm pretty sure it was funny to everybody. So
yeah,
that shit was entertaining. It was amazing and entertaining.
Man,
okay, hilarious.
It brought me an unspeakable amount of joy to see our people come together the way they did in that fucking incident. That shit was fire. That shit was fire. That was so much fun to see. Shout out to that young man who jumped in the water and swam to that motherfucker.
You just missed that.
I wanna shake his fucking hand because damn, that's hot right there.
Yo, keep in mind, it wasn't just us, yo. It was everybody went to the rescue, except for the ones that couldn't. They're like, because I remember one interview, one lady was like, "Oh, we wanted to do something, but we couldn't." I was like, "You just say that." Well, if you saw her, you'd understand why she couldn't. But it was good to see that. It wasn't like that's how. When I used to work at a grocery store and they told you couldn't do nothing, I was like, "What?" Okay. But to see his coworkers actually do something, not just stand there and be like, no, if I do something, I'll get fired. And that's basically what the lady was saying. And I'm like, nah, man, this is a human being. You ain't gonna watch this go down. It's just, you I'm sure, like, he's security. What was his job? It wasn't just to help the boats dock. I'm sure he's just, what else was he doing? Because I'm like, I'm sure they see him every fucking morning. Is basically my point. Saying good morning to him they see this guy every day, And that there's no way. If I was in that situation, there's no way to stand by and just watch that shit. Get out of here.
All right, how you gonna attack this man for doing his fucking job? Like, them white boys was in the wrong. Y'all could have avoided that ass whooping. Y'all would have just shut up and moved the damn boat. Come on, man.
Can't reason with when you're drunk. Yeah.
I've honestly gotten to the point where I don't question anything anymore. They wanted to do it, so they did it, and then they got the consequences that resulted from their actions.
Oh, and the consequences was beautiful.
I've dealt with enough drunk people to know that's exactly how they act.
What's that saying? A hard head make a soft ass?
It also put their ass behind bars too.
So somebody probably gonna fuck around and find out how soft their ass really is.
I just want to shout out to the folding chair, the real MVP.
that chair is a national treasure.
Don Charius. That's oh man. Yeah. On the scale of, I'm about to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, yeah, how do y'all rate that chair?
I'm insulted you even had to ask that question.
That's a 10. You give it out 10s. It's like the slam dunk contest is a 50. That's a
if
50.
you where I'm at, if you even have to ask, you're behind. That's a 11 out of 10.
That's an 11 out of 10.
Motherfucker.
That's
Keep
it.
your
The
hands
only
to
thing is
yourself.
missing is I think I told Father this, and I'm gonna say this. The only thing is missing is Jim Ross commentating. It's just, by God, he's got a chance. The carnage. It's, oh man. Y'all, y'all remember the Fresh Prince episode when Jeffrey had to recite a poem? It was just like cannons to the left of him, cannons rolling in thunder. That's basically what that was, but it was just a bunch of uh, this like just like everybody, this put a smile on my face. I haven't smiled this hard at a video since Bus Driver Uppercut, and that one
Yeah,
still,
right.
yeah, and that one I still go back to this day just to watch
And we
because
just celebrated the 10th anniversary of that motherfucker. Damn.
yeah, it's been 10 years since the Bus Driver Uppercut, if I'm correct. So
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That it's been 10 years
it's been
since that
10,
happened.
it's been 10 whole years since the Bus Driver Uppercut. So that's saying a lot. Where's it at? Okay, so I think is I'm trying to figure it. There you go, right there. That's I ain't never thought so many memes would just come out of this, especially since the hat throw. It's just like look at it. He said,
I was
and even,
I was waiting for the has someone done the what's it called? The what the fuck was that song by Bobby Shmurda again? Shit, what the fuck was the title of that fucking song?
hot
Hot
nigga,
nigga.
hot nigga.
Yeah. No one's done that to the hat throw yet, because I'm sure it's coming.
I don't know, probably. And this right here. This was Crystal's favorite part because these niggas just pulled up, and you know niggas are serious when they start skipping, and then pulled up.
I think that was the moment.
Man, we ain't waste no time.
That's some perfect shit right there. That's some mentality. Really?
Let's look at it. Let's look at it again. Let's look at it again. Look. You skipping, right? He ready. It was ready. It was. You know what's funny? I'm like when I'm looking at this, it's just that I think the white people got on a boat just to think that niggas can't swim. It's just like water was going to be their kryptonite, and they didn't get too far. And then all hell just broke loose. You can see like everybody wanted to smoke. And then whoop whoop. Look at that. Look at that. And then hold on. I hope this has it in there, but chair shot.
Oh shit! I was about to say the wrestling fan of me really wants to see that chair shot again.
Oh man, this is hilarious. I don't care what anybody. Yo, she looked right at it too. It's like, oh man, oh man. The meme, and I think the memes that came out of there is like this one. I just
Okay, there
saw
we go.
Montgomery Black Folk, one band, one sound. I think someone was selling the chair with the do rag and the Black Air Forces. And then hold on, there you go, Dion. Fuck around, find out. So,
I need this hoodie. I want that hoodie.
oh man, they got
I
one of
really
them.
want that hoodie.
This was
You
also
shouldn't
turned.
have shown me. You shouldn't have shown me that. My birthday coming up too. I'm gonna find that hoodie.
Yo, that I'm just looking at this right now. First off, this is but look at this man. This man is.
Why is he smiling at the? I originally thought he was photoshopped in
Oh my god! This
because
I
you
think
don't notice. No one noticed him until they look back at the footage. Like, who's this smiling in the camera?
I'm about to say, who's this nigga smiling? And then you got a smash meme right here.
Chairman again.
Him again, take the seats. Uh, the kid, the little 16-year-old that swam. Y'all know some of the nicknames they was giving him.
Yeah. What was that? Aquaman.
Aquaman.
I saw that one. Scuba
I
Gooding
think it
Jr.
was Montavious Phelps, LL
The,
Cool J.
the,
That one was fun.
the submarine nigga.
The sub, yeah, the submarine nigga, and
That's my favorite one.
it was yeah. I was like, yo, black people are just funny.
Rhythm and spirit. Rhythm and spirit.
Come on, man. You know the internet is relentless.
Michael Phelps. There we go. Michael. He really gave that man a rock bottom.
Michael Phelps.
He really gave that man a rock
Wait, hold on. Let me see. No. That's a Uranagi. That's a Uranagi. That's a Uranagi. He was still standing up. If it was an actual rock bottom, he'd have went down with him.
So sick.
I know my shit. I know my shit. Anyway.
Some 6-year-old. Just so you know, that boy got down. It's like like, what do you do when you see a black man just swimming? It's just like you knew this shit was about to go.
If you them white folk on the dock and you see him coming, it's like a scene from Jaws.
Someone got a footage of Aquaman.
Stop it.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. His dive was, I give that a 2, but you know what, he got over there.
Right. I just want you to probably know that shit blew the shit out of my earphones just now. Can you please not do that again?
I wasn't expecting that to.
Yeah, that rang my shit too.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that loud. I'm sorry. Here we go. Top 10 names given to this young Black Aquaman, JJ Fish. That is funny. Michael B. Phelps. Michael B. Phelps. Captain Hook.
Stingray Fisher.
Kofi Kingfish. Tyrone Locke.
Stingray Leonard.
That's funny.
21 Tilapia.
21 Tilapia. Little name was Shaquille O'Gill. Black people, yo, this is how you know black people.
Memers are the best, yo.
Again, I repeat, the internet is relentless.
So I said, so what do y'all think this is? Where do y'all think this will go down? It's like, you think people will remember this 10 years from now, like they remember the bus driver uppercut?
History. This is the uppercut, yo.
This is just it's literally a passing of the torch. Again, 10th anniversary of the Shoryuken bus driver. Something had to take over, and it go to good people of Alabama.
So okay. So I'm gonna take
this.
So put this in order. You got bus driver uppercut. You got Sharkeisha, and you got this Alabama boat brawl. What are you putting around there?
Whoa, what's the
I'm giving it to the boat brawl purely because of the number of people involved.
Refresh my memory.
Let's start with that.
Boat brawl, Sharkeisha, uppercut. That's my list.
You put Sharkeisha over the uppercut?
Did you see the way she fucking blasted that woman's face? It was, you couldn't see it. You couldn't see her face. Her fist engulfed her entire face, Ray. There was no face visible when she punched her.
Yo, she hit that girl with the Rasengan.
Remember when SpongeBob was depressed and then his face flushed into his face? That's exactly what happened.
It came to his fucking face.
I'm sorry, Sharkeisha. I'm putting Sharkeisha over the uppercut. The only thing, the thing I love about the uppercut though was the roast session before the fucking consequences. Look like somebody done sliced your face up.
Yeah, look like someone sliced your face. Yeah, and everybody.
That's what did it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So,
what's next, yo?
Oh,
what's gonna happen next?
That's the beauty of it. We wait and see.
There it is.
okay. Any last words before we move on to another topic?
Stop trying us.
Try Jesus. Please don't try me.
I love that song.
Because I fight.
I love that fucking song.
Well, when we said we are not our ancestors, we meant that shit.
Yeah, but let's not fucking say that stupid shit anymore because our ancestors went through some bullshit for us to be.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I like the ratio of the people who jumped in to help versus the people who are just recording on their phones. You don't see a lot of that.
You know, one people to document it, and other people to lay that smack down.
Okay.
Every good fight needs a cameraman.
Yeah. Now before we go, let's look at this Sharkeisha.
Where's her face? Ray, where's her face? Where's the face?
Yo,
It's gone.
Where's the face?
Sharkeisha died.
Did she?
Yeah.
No, I thought that was a hoax.
Wait, what happened to her?
The one in the blue gone.
Yeah. What happened?
I thought that's a hoax.
I
don't think she died.
Was it a hoax? All right.
Yeah, it's a hoax. She's alive. She's not dead.
Not with that right.
No, we're talking about Sharkeisha herself, not the girl she punched in the face.
Yeah. First, her name is Sharkeisha, so I'm pretty sure she can live through anything.
Run it back, because I want to see just from how far back this hand came before it made contact.
Boy, she had a Dontrell Willis wind up. Look at this. You want to see where?
No,
right.
pause it at the exact moment she cocks her hand all the way back.
Okay,
that's gonna be hard on
because
you asking Ray for a lot right now.
Yeah.
Because she played softball or something. She cocked back like a pitcher.
There we go. Hold on.
It ain't softball. Her name. She just built different.
Look. She wasn't even looking. Look at it. She's not even looking.
Completely unaware. Completely unaware.
That's where the wind up came.
That's how far back it went.
Nigga, she did not have a face.
Yeah.
I tell you what she did have. She had a concussion.
She's definitely alive, and she looks more like an adult now. She looks like she matured.
I'm glad she did.
Yeah. Like
I'm not glad she did. I want some more fucking
or anything.
I want
some more Baka Blick bookies.
Oh man.
See, because you said that, because of the question D asked earlier, watch watch somebody try her and she have to damn relax and crack somebody else.
I hope not, because what I'm looking at, she looks
Fada has a tendency to speak shit up, so I'm not.
Damn, why you outing me like that? I
It's
use my
happened
powers.
too many times
I use my powers for
not
good.
take it seriously.
I use my powers for good.
Shout out to Sarkisa. This happened 8 years ago. So that was 8 years ago. So
Bruh.
I don't know why I did that because the next topic I'm gonna have to bring that shit back up. So um yeah, I mean on to our next topic. How familiar are y'all with Terrence Crawford? Because I know you just had a fight with Errol Spence, and Terrence Crawford won that fight between Errol Spence. How much
I
do
didn't
y'all
watch it.
know about him?
I
Not
didn't
at
watch
all.
it.
You didn't watch it?
No.
I saw the highlights and I saw the aftermath. Oof, poor Spence.
Oh yeah, that boy got tatted. But shout out to Spence too because he was also undefeated. It was two undefeated going against each other.
Hmm.
But it's funny because with the aftermath of Terrence Crawford winning the fight, one of his old stories was brought back up, and I don't know if y'all was familiar with this story. I remember seeing the story when it first came out. That's how I knew who Terrence Crawford was. There was an interview where like they was interviewing his mother, and uh, oh shoot,
Yeah.
her name is
Oh, yeah. I said that earlier. Yeah.
like I said, I knew about this when this came out, and I remember like I was like, no kid has to go through this, but it's um if you're wondering what I'm talking about, here is the video right here.
His dad said we got $1 million baby boy.
My dad used to tell my mom I was going to be a world champ.
I told him we
Man, she has her own ways to motivate her son. She has her own way of loving her son, but they love each other, man. They two peas in a pot together. You kept telling him, "Are you never going to amount to anything?" Did you really believe it?
some things that I said to him, I wanted him to be a man. Don't be afraid of nobody.
That's a hard lesson to learn. You're 12, 13.
Yeah, but he had to learn it.
How'd that make you feel? It filled me with rage. And every time I stepped foot in the ring or anything that I ever did, I just wanted to win so bad so I can prove a point to her.
He was 13 when he said, Mom, you're not going to whoop me no more. He took the belt from me.
I grabbed the belt and told her, "You ain't about to hit me no more. Oh, that's out the window. I ain't getting whooped no more."
I paid the kids, I said, if y'all can whoop Bud, I give y'all $10 a piece. Could none whoop him.
You went out on the street,
Yeah,
what's now Bud Crawford Street,
yeah. The
and
kids in
offered
the
$10 to anyone who can kick my son's
Yeah,
butt.
yep.
And a lot of takers,
Yeah,
no one
kids
could
in
do
the
it.
neighborhood. Couldn't nobody whoop him.
What did he tell you then?
He told your mom, I told you I'm the best.
Now, like I said,
Yo,
Chris, I've never seen this interview before.
no, no, and
Okay.
What were you
the
saying last week about the origin stories of villains?
The origins of a villain. Yeah,
Because
sometimes
this
you gotta
damn
know.
sure is a villain origin story.
Well,
yo,
thank
the
God it's not because he's a boxer and he's a father of five and he takes care of his kids. He's a very responsible father. So, Crystal, I wanted to start with you because you had a very, very interesting take on it. Would you mind bringing that to the congregation?
all right. So, so I was saying that we don't see enough of where moms should be holding responsibility for their kids, mostly sons, having signs of kind of like CPTSD from narcissistic abuse. Um, a lot of times, even the guy speaking, he's saying, "Oh, she's just trying to motivate me," right? And that's a sign of just being abused. So it's prolonged so much that he cannot separate, you know, what respect is and what narcissistic traits are. What mother do you know, right, that would go out and pay children to beat up her son?
Gotta
Not.
be.
Yo,
But the ones that do, they do it in a different way. They interject in ways through marriage, through their sons being successful. Any part of success, the mother automatically feels that it belongs to them because they've birthed them. And that's the part that you know, if you raise your children right, they will give willingly. You don't have to corrode them and manipulate them. And a lot of times CPTSD is caused by repeated and prolonged exposure to abuse and psychological abuse. It also means that if in the children are in a relationship with a narcissistic person raising them, so their traits will slide onto them, and it'll look like autism, it'll look like ADHD. It's very underlined that all these mental illnesses can very well be directly associated with the mother, and it's scientifically proven that when children are around their moms, they act 80% to 90% worse than if they were with someone else, because they sometimes feel like they can get away with stuff, but at the same time they know that they've been manipulated in a unconscious way. That
imprinted.
right, so they're taking up behaviors of the parents. So when you see that child acting out, it's because that mother, okay, that has unresolved issues and probably need therapy as well, is projecting on that child or imprinting on that child. Some of the common signs of knowing if you have a narcissistic, was raised by a narcissistic mother, I'm gonna read them off. It's visual and emotional flashbacks, avoiding triggers or reminders of traumatic events, hypervigilance and sense of threat in a daily interaction, difficulties with emotional regulation, feeling of shame, guilt, and worthlessness, consistent struggles in interpersonal relationships, memory loss, and having a close relationship with someone with a diagnosis of NPD or extreme narcissistic traits. Um, at this time, the only treatment for that is looking for someone who is trained in trauma trained therapy. That's the only way. Or else we have a lot of these men running around here who are narcissistic, but they're also traumatized, which is a horrible combination. Either way you put it. Most of the times you hear, "Oh, I have the worst mother-in-law." Why do you think that is? She's always been that way, but now that it's a woman, you know, taking over her son, well, not taking over, but being a influential part in his life, wife, and the mother of his children, possibly, she has all these issues that is no longer an issue with the son. It's now projected on the daughter and, sorry, the woman, the wife. And that needs to be called out as well. But it's rare that we see the sons of narcissistic mothers stand up to their mom, which is, yeah, I'm sure contributes to such a high divorce rate, but no one talks about that. It's kind of like it's a taboo topic. The more we can identify what a narcissistic mother is, we can get the treatments and get those sons out of those predicaments, or give them the fucking tools to defend themselves, and so that they don't, you know, go into relationships and make mockery, a mess of that, right? So that's my take on that. It's a very taboo topic. Nobody talks about it a lot. I've been raised in a narcissistic family, not just my mom. It was everybody. So it's very important to make sure that we can identify what's happening. So from ages 1 to 5, it's not permanently in that child. That's the time that the children their brains are like sponges from 1 to 5. Everything they've intake, it stays with them for a long time to come, unless it's identified. And right now we are identifying the same trait that I told you, the CPTSD, under a lot of different mental illnesses, which is, that's not what is it mainly. That's the main point that I'm trying to make here. But that's it.
Here.
Anybody else have something to say about it?
All I have to say is on this topic is the first thing that came to mind, like towards the end, was yo. So imagine if she was a single mother. Or imagine the amount of single mothers that are like this, and there's nobody. Like, at least he had a dad to be like, "Let's go, son," you know. But oh my god,
I think this is a clear classic case of tough love in a very, 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 very toxic way. And it's toxic because, he was a child. You feeling what I'm saying? And I feel like in the black community, especially, we overvalue tough love. We really fucking do. The world has beat down on us so much. We do the same shit to our kids because we think we're preparing them for the world, but really, we become their first oppressor. You feeling what I'm saying? So, in a way, I feel like they had to cope with the fact that that was the way that they grew up, and they couldn't take it back. So, in a way, there's a love and an admiration and respect there. And, you know, I feel like even with therapy, if he comes to realize that himself, it has to be from a place where he fully understands what happened to him. But at the same time, I cannot sit here and just assume that anything is wrong with him just simply because, number one, I wasn't there. And number two, I wouldn't know his frame of mind just based on how he grew up, because it could have been a blessing in disguise to him. It's all, and like, it's really tricky. It's a trick bag because we like to put our own biases and perspective into things, but not because we think that we know better. It's just because we are, receiving the information, and based on how we grew up and based on what we know is right or wrong, we're going to have some type of way about it. I see a mother that was ultimately trying to toughen her son up for the world, but did so in a way that probably wasn't that helpful. You feeling what I'm saying? And yeah, you have all this money. Yeah, you're able to take care of your children, but at what cost?
Anybody else got something to say about it? This on this topic?
The one thing that gets me is the fact that she genuinely didn't seem to show any form of remorse or regret for what she did and how she was talking to him. I think that's the thing that
for a
that
narcissist.
then that's the thing that bugged me the most. Like, how do you live with yourself after doing some shit like that?
I mean,
Yeah,
she's living everywhere.
it's resulted in him being, a very, very successful boxer. But uh, can be
Okay. Um, I'm going to say this, and then this is probably as vulnerable as I've probably been. Um, I don't know if I told this story at least on this podcast. There was one time when I was about to join the Navy, and like you young kid, I'm young, trying to change my life for the better, trying to do better for myself. Couldn't find a job in my area because like either they was all taken or they just didn't want to hire me. So I always said the last resort was going to be a join the military, in which I did, and I enlisted. I was about to take my SVABs, and my mom obviously she didn't like me joining the Navy, but so the first time I um, failed the ASVAB test, she had like this smile on her face, like she was happy that I failed it, and she probably thought that I after that I probably wasn't going to go back and do it. So the second time I took my SVAB test, I was going to go take my SVAB test, and my recruiter came pick me up, and she asked me where I'm going. And I was like, going to BEP school to take my ASVAB test. And she says, bye, I hope you fail. And like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It lit a fire under me. Cause it was just like first off, and I was pissed the whole fucking way. I passed it on my second time, but I was like pissed the whole way because it's just like I'm trying to do something, trying to better myself to end up not like some of these people on the streets that don't know what to do with their life. And the first thing you tell me to buy, I hope you fail. Now this was also like, yeah, no, it was just fucked up. And the thing was, this was during the time where my mother and father was going through a divorce, and was a time that I'm not going. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think my mother didn't want to be around my family. Like she wanted. I think she just wanted to be a single girl, or like she wanted to have a hot girl summer or some shit like that. And I'm gonna be real, and like I'm gonna be real with you. If I did not join the Navy, I probably would hate my mother, and because the stuff that they was telling me that she was doing while I was in the military, and I didn't see for myself. And there was a point in time, like even like because I was like the only one that was able to put my little brother in school, and because he's mildly autistic, and my little sisters they was going to school, they were still in high school. My father had to go to work, and like so, I was the only one after I graduated. I was the only one put make sure he gets on the bus to go to school, and make sure he's there to when he comes back. I had to pick him up and stuff. So like during that time, I was seeing while my parents was going through the divorce, I was seeing the side of my mother I did not like, and like it was one point where, like I said, it felt like she didn't want to be around us, and once I felt that energy, I just did not want to be around her either. So like there was a point of a time where like we didn't have no light bills, and my mom she lived around the block from us, so she even though she said y'all can stay here until the lights come the lights come back on, I felt this energy like she didn't want us there, like she was just being courteous but not didn't want us there. And like once I felt that energy, and I forgot what she said, but she said something like real smart, like when it was just like I didn't like the way that tone was. I looked at my little sisters and I said, I'm going to the house with no lights in there, and I'm just going in it. Just bring my little brother to the window. I'll make sure he gets on the bus and picks him up. So like during that time, I pick him, they drop him off. I pick him up, make sure he gets on the bus. When he comes back home, I take him to my mom's crib, and then as soon as someone, like anybody, pops in, I leave because I did not want to be around that energy, and like stuff like that. It's just like I'm not gonna lie to you, it really affects how you maneuver with people because this is supposed to be someone you love. You have that energy, like they don't want to be around you. Like it really kind of like fucks you up mentally. So like, and I do admit that sometimes if I just stayed around there, because like there was a time where she progressively gotten worse, And then they would tell me this while I was in the military, but they never told me this when I was like out to sea. Like I would have to find everything out when I come back and visit. Like the stuff that I used to hear her do, I was like disgusted to a point where like I didn't even call her my mom. I called her that woman. And every time it was just like that woman. And then my sister used to like have this empathy and all that other stuff. It was just like, why are why are you acting like that? But it's just like me, my older sister, and my older brother. It was a point to where like we didn't even talk to her, while the others was while the younger three was because there's like six of us. While the younger three was, they always, stayed around her and all that stuff. But I felt like the more they stayed around her, the more toxic she became. So, like Crystal said, a lot of people don't really talk about this stuff and like how it really affects people. But sometimes, like your best situation is to get up out that situation, or you like most people turn that negative into a positive. So I'm happy that he turned that negative into a positive, even though he shouldn't have to, because there's no reason that you should be paying other kids $10 to go beat up your son. Like, why? Like, what was the reason for that? Like, he's like 13. It's like you don't need to go through that hardship. He's still a fucking teenager or some shit like that. I understand, like Father said, there's tough love, but you ain't have to be that toxic. So, like, like I said, I'm glad he got something positive out of that, because it's like there's a lot of people that they go through this, and there's a lot of people I know that like mothers is worse than like Terrence Crawford, and sometimes they talk about it, and a lot of people look at them like they give the mothers an excuse, like that's still your mother and all that other stuff, and it's just like I understand that, but the mother also has to take accountability for the actions that they put on the kid. And you could tell by sometimes even in the older generations, they know they did it, but they sometimes they won't take accountability. And they was like, oh, that made you who you are. Just like, it's like, do you think I wanted to grow up like that? Like most people have trauma, have therapy, they don't, you know, there's stuff that you don't want to pass down to your kids and some shit like that. Like, what's so hard telling your kid I love you? Like, what's so hard telling a kid I love you or something like that? Give us some positive affirmation. Like, why do you like all that? And I remember, like I said, the first time I saw that interview, I was like disgusted. I was like, I don't know why they trying to show. Yeah, even then, like I understand that's his mother and all that stuff. He's still trying to like, even here, he was trying to flip it to a way it's just like positive, but at the same time, I think even he understands, and I don't think I show that part that he doesn't do that to his kids. So obviously, it's not learned behavior. But that's a little bit. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Real quick, I just wanted to say that this is a lesson for everybody who thinks that having children means that you have to, try to make them some version of themselves that they're just gonna learn anyway, just going through life. You feeling what I'm saying? Because it's like, again, you are actively becoming their first oppressor by believing that you're toughening them up for a world that's already going to do so. You feeling what I'm saying? It's like there's no point for you to go that hard over children, because children have innocence that actually is supposed to teach us that life sometimes isn't supposed to be taken so seriously. You're dealing with systems that aren't in your favor, especially as Black people. And the greatest resistance to that is to show joy and empathy and compassion in teaching your children how to be good, upstanding citizens of the world so that it reflects back on the race. You don't have to fucking have them fighting for $10 for what? You feeling what I'm saying? It's like there needs to be an evolution in the way that Black people think about their children, because you cannot continue with this type of behavior. It creates trauma, and it creates the next generation of people that's going to just harm their children because they falsely believed that you did what was right for them.
Also, I just want everybody to keep in mind that the highest suicide rate is of men. And I'm sure if they delve a little bit deeper, instead of just telling the, what how they killed themselves if they was to trace it back to their childhood. I I'm assuming, but I feel like it would always be traced back to a narcissistic mother. That's all I gotta say.
Life is hard. You don't have to make it harder for your kids. All right. The homes is supposed to be a safe spot. It's okay to teach them that life is hard, but that doesn't mean you got to be the teacher. So that's most material left down into the chat. What up, B? How you doing?
Good. I kind of am lost about what y'all talking about, but I
Uh,
understand.
I'll tell you later. I don't know. You know who the boxer Terrence Crawford is, or they call him Bud Crawford. I don't know how much you follow boxer.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I will send you. I will send you the video because we already got off the topic. I'll send you the link to the video,
Okay.
and that's what we was talking. All right, but on to our next topic. Uh, since we're on black men, let's stay on this. I wanted to talk about Jamie Foxx and Neo. Now, Jamie Foxx, he put out a tweet that basically said they killed Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? And the hashtag was like fake love is like fake friends. Now, unfortunately, that was confused as anti-Semitism, and he was kind of forced to apologize, or I guess if it wasn't him, it was probably his publicist.
What did he say now?
They killed
What did he
Jesus.
say?
That's what he
Yeah, they
said. They
killed
killed
Jesus. What would
Jesus.
they? Yeah, they killed Jesus.
But all right, never mind.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Now, also on the other spectrum, you had Neo. Now, Neo and I usually I have a video popping, but it's on Vlad TV, and Vlad kind of like copyrights everybody. So I would just give you the bluff notes of what he said. He was on a podcast with Gloria Velez, and it was about
Really?
kids transitioning before they're 18, and Neo was basically against it. So, he doesn't think that you should be those kids that should be giving them decisions to someone so young at a something that's very detrimental in your life. Like kids shouldn't be transitioning at a young age, and like that should be up to the parents.
Neil said
Now,
he's raising boys, he's raising young men, and he refuses to be forced into doing something for the cause. He don't care, if you love what you love, this and that, but I would not allow my child that is that is young to make life altering decisions prior to being 18.
exactly. Thank
Mhm.
you, B.
And
Thank you.
the,
You
the
said that so
the
eloquently.
host, the girl that
Now,
was hosting the podcast, whatever it was, she was agreeing, just doing her basic, yeah, yeah. But then
yeah, Gloria.
Neo's publicist sent out a forceful like apology, and everybody started clowning Neo because they thought he was apologizing for standing on standing on what he stand on. Then Neo turned around and went on live and said he wasn't the one that sent that apology. He stands on what he stand on, and he not apologizing for it. He understands he might need to get a little bit more education, but he's definitely know for a fact he not allowing any of his kids or any kid. He don't think that any kid should be making life altering decisions that young. And that wasn't him that sent that fake apology. I mean, respectfully.
Exactly. Now, the question I want to come to the panel because there's a lot of people that saw this, and even before Neo's, him walking back, not walking back, but basically saying that wasn't him, that was the publicist. A lot of people was looking at, and they always had this talk about making black men look weak because we have to apologize for stuff that there's no need to apologize for. So, do y'all agree with people saying that, or do you disagree?
I
That it makes black men
I don't agree
Disagree.
with, yeah, I don't agree. Like the Jamie Foxx thing, First of all, a hit dog will holler, and if the Jews felt like he was speaking on them, and they ready to carry the shoe and the mantle, they should have just carried it and continued on, because when James Fox wrote they, the Jews automatically Jewish community took it as they were
Guilty or
speaking
something.
on them. Like, first of all, it's this whole process was if they killed Jesus, like, what makes you think you like these fake friends would not do you any better? Like you stand way above God. Like, so I'm like, y'all just taking his word and he over here apologizing. At this point in time, Jamie, you almost lost your life. When is you gonna wake up? Like, at this point in time, wake the hell up. You almost lost your life, barely was surviving. You should be grateful for everything. Apologizing, trying to still appease the masses. At this point, let me mind my business. I was not about to say something nice.
Yeah, I disagree because I'm like, yo, who doesn't have to apologize these days? Yo, everybody apologizes for saying their opinion. You always have to fucking walk it back. I'm like, nah, man, stand your fucking ground. You said what you said. People disagree. All right, whatever. Still watch my shit. So, yeah.
I'm gonna
Anybody else have some thoughts
I'm gonna
about it?
say so. Um, I'm surprised y'all didn't mention Jennifer Aniston, who was the very first one to call Jamie Foxx and accuse him of anti-Semitism when he said what she said, and then it went
I was
viral.
getting there, but
Yeah, her
I
response.
was getting there, but you already there, so go ahead.
Yeah, it's all good, but yeah, like she was the one that pretty much started the whole anti-Semitism thing. Well, I won't say start because like I don't know if she started it or not, but like her response to him went viral, of course. So we had a discussion when we was talking about, yo,
Wait, what
why
was
is it?
her response to him?
No, no, she was the one that accused him of anti-Semitism. She's like, "Oh, Jamie Foxx, I'm so disappointed in you. Like, this is,
No,
she was doing all that, like
no,
all
it
that."
wasn't her.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was a no, it was a guy. He the one that, put the post on blast. And then she, when somebody put it on blast and the media's running with it because there was a girl who one of the celebrities had liked his post and they was just like, this is so anti-Semitic, because they tried to say like he was talking about Jews. And then you know how she, anti-Semitic, they want to piggyback off of everything to like, make the Jewish community think like, oh, we're with y'all.
I just want to know, why can't black people just have their own damn conversations and not have anybody fucking interrupt them or anybody trying to? That was assumed intent. What they did, they assumed that he was mentioning anything about them when the conversation was never about them in the first place. That is a common Black American saying. They say that in Black America all the fucking time.
Exactly.
You feeling what I'm saying? So it's like that. It literally had nothing to do. I was arguing up and down my fucking timeline because there was like, yeah, but what if somebody from some other culture said something that was racially insensitive to you? And I'm like, first of all, nobody is
What?
checking.
I didn't even.
Like nobody is fucking. We're not sitting here checking for who's saying this and who's saying that in whatever motherfucking community. You feeling what I'm saying? Because we already know most cultures don't fucking like us to begin with. So if you assume that the intent is about you, that just goes to show you that it's your projection and it's your low self-esteem and it's the fact that y'all motherfuckers cannot for 1 second stop making shit about yourself for one
Exactly.
motherfucking second. You feeling what I'm saying? Like now niggas have, we not gonna police what we say every single time. You feeling what I'm saying? Especially with the history that we got
And we
against.
shouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it get to a point where we're just gonna have to stop giving a fuck and let people just assume what they're gonna assume anyway, because it's never in our favor when we do want to do things that want to benefit other people. You feeling what I'm saying? When we do want to show love to other people, it's never fucking reciprocated. And niggas be looking at us like we're the bad person when we speak on it. it gets tired.
Oh,
And also,
oh,
black cannot really be anti-Semitic because a lot of black people come from Semitic groups. Northeast Africa, hello.
bruh.
It feels like
Yeah,
we it feels like we moving so far backwards. Like we went from being like our ancestors being enslaved to well, I'm not gonna go all the way back because we starting back from kings and queens, but I'm about to start from the enslavement to then segregation, fighting for us to be in school. Now we apologizing for being us. Like I'm like, yo, at one point do y'all say get the hell up? Like F y'all and the
I've
crackers that
been
y'all
saying
eat.
that. You say my channel's dedicated to that shit.
It's starting. First of all, and these black celebrities they irritate me more than any other group race of like celebrities, because they're the only ones I know who apologize more than anything. But they don't hold their same white counterparts in the same fire when it's like, oh, they said something racist or something like that. They be so quick to like support them, this and that. Oh, it's okay. But like when it's something like, oh, anti-Semitic or something with, it was like a white person was being judged or blase. They so quick to apologize, so quick to say we need to give them training, they need to be educated. No, they don't need to be educated, they need to be canceled. The same way y'all be getting canceled left and right. So shut the hell up and let her get this fire ran through her by Black Twitter.
My thing is also you gotta remember who controls a big portion of the money around this motherfucker.
Niggas.
No.
On strike, they have
nigga.
nothing better to do.
Well, and we being 100% honest, is the niggas. Black people control a
Nigga.
large, and if we being 100% clear, like our money flows harder than any other race.
For one, I get really disappointed instead of like them coming to say, "What did you mean by that?" Instead of saying, "What did you mean by that?" So he can explain it because, like Father done said,
Hmm.
just been around around black culture for like
Whose
eons,
TV is
and
that?
Story of my life.
like yeah, it's like I've heard this. Is that Leon?
Yo,
Yep.
Whatever.
Anyway, this that that saying's been around for decades, damn near like for the longest. So I feel like, and for people who said that we need to understand other people's cultures, it seems like no one really wants to understand our culture and what do we mean when we say things or we do things. Like the fact that this just get pointed into anti-Semitism is just like baffling because unless, and I think material like said, hit those with holler. Because correct me if I'm wrong, it was the Romans that killed Jesus, not the Jews. So if I'm correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm telling you, hit dog will holler, and they just want to holler all day long.
Yeah, yeah, and like especially in this era where people just want to be offended for no reason. And it was like this has nothing to do with y'all. That's the one thing I'm really pissed about because it really had nothing to do with y'all. He didn't say Jews, or like I can understand if it was like Kanye when Kanye went and he was wilding about everything that he was saying. It was just, but this right here had nothing to do with Jews, and yet you put yourself in there. And I feel like when you put yourself in there to be offended, I don't feel like we should have to apologize because why are you putting yourself in something that had nothing to do with you?
Amen.
Like material like said, a hit dog will holler. So if you feel like you got offended, that's something that you should deal with. I don't think no one should be apologizing for that. especially Jamie Foxx. I understand you got a career and all that other stuff, and you know, us as you got some black people just like, oh, we bowing down to master. Meanwhile, you go work for the white man yourself or some shit like that. So you get some of them people. Um, and like I don't like as black people, I feel like we need to take a point where it's just like we need to tell them, no, you need to understand our culture before you start assuming things that has nothing to do with you. Because I don't think you shouldn't apologize. And I feel like a lot of black people are like, you shouldn't apologize for this. As far as Neo go, I'm glad that he actually came out and said what he said. And I feel like if more people does what Neo says, we wouldn't be in this cancel culture. And the fact that he even said, "Look, if this gets me canceled, he was like, I don't care. He was like, I'm a hustler. I can move on." And it's just like I feel like a lot more. I feel like if
Son.
more people had that attitude,
Amen.
I feel like cancel culture wouldn't be a thing. And it's just like you're just going to sit there with your emotions and sulk at them. It's like even if they're not, even if the intent wasn't to be offended, but sometimes you just got to let them sit there and sulk at them. And it's like maybe something is wrong with me because if it wasn't pertaining to you, why are you getting mad? And that's why I feel like a lot of these people around here, that's mostly the problem. It's like you're getting mad and offended something that don't even pertain to you. So, and if you get mad at that, you probably look at to yourself. Now, if I intentionally tried to hurt you, that's one thing. But if everything I'm saying is unintentional, or even if things is like can be proven as a biological fact that yes, you probably shouldn't be giving these kids be giving uh gender transitioning, especially if their body is still growing and like what's the body stop growing when they're 21. So maybe you should wait till their body fully develops before you even like put the hormones in it. But I don't, we're in a different world now. So I think a lot of people are scared to say something. So that's all I gotta say about that.
Can can
Anybody
I
else?
can I like I don't even really think it's fear anymore. Like honestly, because when I look at it, like bro, people just not with it. And I don't know why people try to make it seem like it's not the case. I'm like, bro, people are not with it genuinely. They understand what
Yo.
it is. They know what you're talking about. All the terms have been defined. All the information is out there. We just not fucking with it. We disagree. We don't want this to be a normal part of society. And I think if there is a good amount of people saying the very same motherfucking things, it's not people being transphobic, it's people being genuinely fucking concerned about where the mentality of the youth is going when it comes to topics like this. Because it's getting to a point where the parents' inputs are not being heard. People who have genuine concerns for why this shit is even happening to children in the first place, they're not being heard. So then they have to yell at you niggas in order for you to listen and comprehend and dialogue so that we can come to a mutual ground. But as of right now, niggas is not motherfucking with it. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what Neo is talking through. But in this particular case, Neo fucked up because he already doesn't have a good track record to begin with. So a lot of people ain't really trying to hear what that nigga has to say. I feel like that's another part of the conversation about it too, because we can talk about all the shit that people say all motherfucking day till we're blue in the face. But Neo himself, because he's done some shit to some women, he's said some shit to some other people. Like I feel like that's what they're really trying to get at him for, instead of what he actually said.
And here's another issue. They're acting like they're kind of putting the LGBT it's like they're a monolith. It's as if they all believe this is how it should be. When there's like a plethora of them saying like, no, we are not down with this. Some of them have suffered because some of them are like, my parent put me through this and like my life's been fucked up since. Or I made this decision as a kid and my life's been fucked up since. Or they just did it as an adult and said, I'm glad I developed and thought of it on my own and did this naturally and organically and not been forced to do it. You mean that doesn't make sense. I was like, yo, because really and truly, yo, when I was 5, I was like, I legit wanted to be a Power Ranger. So I'm like, what the fuck? How can you? What? Like, I thought that shit was real. You understand? So I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And this is not some bigoted shit, or this is so close to objective, like straight up, because it just doesn't make sense, man. Nobody's okay with that. It's the same with a lot of things that, like, that cause a lot of strife between a lot of people. It's like they feed it as if, like, they give the mics to the people, to like the minority, like this what's the saying now? Silent minority, what is it? Silent majority, loud minority, or something like that.
Yeah,
And that's what it's
majority, loud minority.
Yeah, and that's what's going on, man. Because I'm like, nobody's okay with this, but understand, even though, what do we all of us, no matter where you stand, we're all being fed what? The same damn thing. And it's always leaning in one direction. There's always one thing. There is no, maybe on this side, on if I go on the higher channels, maybe these types of commercials. No. And or these types of shows or these types of movies. No, there's no escape. No, this is what we think. Like I told y'all about what's that show again? The DC show, Doom Patrol. Right? Yo, it's in there. That's just in there. I'm just able to separate my mind from that shit so I can at least enjoy it, because I'm biased towards DC. So I'm like, I have to find some way to fucking enjoy it and just block the shit out. But I'm like, not everybody's gonna do that. No, not everybody does that. Some people are like, oh, it's my favorite actor, it's my favorite this and the other. So, if they think it's okay, it's for a lot of people, it's that easy. So, man, I don't know.
I also think they want black people to stay in line. So they use this tactic to make us always seem the need to apologize or correct ourselves or fix it, like with the whole Kevin Hart thing, where they use his old comedy skits to like say he can host, I think, the Grammy or whatever. It's like stay in line. Like don't think y'all up there yet. Let me bring you back to reality. Um, and it's draining. Like it's real life draining to watch people because not every black person is staying in line. Some black people definitely Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. Like it's just too many of them, and you still have some that they ain't ready to be free yet.
Okay. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Stand on your ground. Stand on your shit. Say what you mean and mean what you say.
This is why I said we need to have a bunch of open dialogues. That way we can at least have some type of common ground to where we can move from. Instead of like, I would like to see, like I said, I would like to see some rabbis debate with Minister Farrakhan. I would like to see some parts of the LGBT, like debate with some people in the black community, just so we can have some type of common ground, and then like have a clear understanding. I would like some blacks with some Jews, hell, some men and some women. That way we can have at least some type of common ground. I know most shows do it, but I feel like a lot of people don't really get to the point where it's like where like someone is going to be uncomfortable. And we got to have that uncomfortable talk, because I feel like we're dancing around it, but we're not really in it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple do you cares. Do y'all care that DJ Academics is beefing with Erykah Badu?
For what?
Huh?
Everybody's like, what?
Is it because Erykah Badu cut her short?
It's some old beef turning new beef, continue beef. But did anybody buy her coochie incense?
It sold out. Yo.
Yeah, I don't know when he was on, when he had Everyday Struggle, and she was like he looked like Jerry the Mouse, in which it was mean the whole time. I think he still held on to that, and then said something about she's been ran through by like the whole, you know, basically called her a slut and said she's been ran through or some shit like that.
Now,
So
first of all, a woman, bro, she sold her coochie essence and it sold out again. This is the second time it sold out within 2 days. This is literally the second time, bro. That woman, I don't know why he's trying her like she ain't got fucking ancestors on speed dial. This man, you know what? Keep playing with God. Go ahead.
Did anybody buy it?
It's sold out,
it's sold
bro,
out.
and we can't get it even if we tried.
I feel like
So
she be capping. She probably only sell one of them things, and then market sold out. I'm like, I
I'm
can. I ain't seen nobody say they don't got the Erica Badu Coochie scent,
They admit it.
and she been selling that thing for some years. I remember when she first started selling them.
well. Go ahead,
I'm
Dion.
not
Go ahead.
buying it.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and like I've been saying this for the longest, and it's going to happen one of these days. I hate to put it in the air, but it's going to happen one of these days.
Well,
PJ
we all want
Accident
to
is
know
going
what
to
it
get punched
smell
in.
like. The master
Probably
will know
smell bad.
what is she selling it for real. Like what scent did she use to
I
create
have
this?
no idea.
You won't be able to find out unless
Like,
you buy it.
nah, I don't want like it better not be smelling like ocean.
Well, I think she got some new scent to pussy, and she put Jerry the Mouse on there just to like hilariously clap back. Like
Wow.
her clap back at DJ was funny. It was funny. It was very funny. But
Again,
I'm gonna
I don't
say
know
this, like
why
I'm gonna
he's
say
doing it
this.
to her.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna say this, and one of these days he's gonna get punched in the mouth by someone that don't give a fuck because you talk too much shit. One of these days he's gonna get punched in the mouth by someone that don't care about going to court, and it's gonna happen.
But
It's
DJ
just
academic don't
gonna happen.
care either. Like he told her, like the old academic is definitely the one from like that show that he had with Joe Budden versus the one that be
Mm-hmm.
in the basement now that's been best friends with
Mm-hmm.
Takashi 69.
Damn.
All
They are not the
right.
same.
I just, I'm just saying, like, I don't. Is the nigga gonna get punched in the mouth one day, and then like, is this gonna be like, what did I do? Or it's
He
just like for
probably
all the
have been
bullshit.
punched in the mouth several times.
Probably, if he did, I don't know because he's still talking that shit like he's never been punched.
I'm
So,
I'm telling you, that's a different nigga in the basement.
okay.
Like she said, he
The
said
next
he
thing,
is not the same guy in the basement versus like the guy that used to be on that show. You know, now he owns his own
every
stuff, so he could do whatever he want to do now.
nigga, big act in the building, big act in the building. The next, do you care? Do y'all care that Sexy Red sex tape got leaked?
It was whack.
What sex tape or sexting?
Yeah, sex tape. It wasn't good. It wasn't.
I
It
don't
wasn't
think
good.
it is. I don't. It ain't.
No one, like I said before, no one who's had a sex tape within the past 10 years, it's never been good. So let's
I don't
fucking
know
let the
why
hell with
you
it.
would. I don't know why you said that when Kevin Hart exists.
Okay, you're acting like I'm interested in seeing Kevin Hart.
But I'm just saying. You saying there's none. I'm saying that one.
My man, yo, he was going pound town on
No,
whoever that was.
he was fucking the brakes off that girl.
Yeah, there was no change in rhythm. That nigga was on some type of Monster Energy drink. That
That
nigga,
nigga, yo, Kevin Hart was fucking her like it was the main event of WrestleMania.
Damn.
I nah, Kevin Hart
And
has
y'all
my
met.
respect after that shit.
Tell
He
her you
said
gonna learn today.
he was definitely the little engine that could that night. That's on to
Uh,
the next. Okay, on to the next. Do you care? Do you care about what's her name? Lil Tay. Lil Tay. That's her name, right?
Bruh.
Um,
Ooh, this is a movie.
Isn't it the
that
little
she
Asian girl that passed away?
the little Asian girl that like faked her death, but
Wait, are you serious?
like
She
they
is
said
She's
the
not
fake?
dead.
uh,
She's not dead.
Oh, she
she's
faked
not
it. I
dead.
thought she just
No.
didn't
It's not
die.
that she faked it. No, it's not that she faked it. They released fake news about her.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Shakira or
It's
whatever
not
that
like
girl's
it's
name.
not like she orchestrated this shit. There's like actual shit that
Right.
apparently there's
Because she was getting
coming
calls and
after her.
shit. Her family was
I
getting
thought it was
calls
her
like, "Did you?" And they were
family.
like, "She's right here." What? So yeah.
But it said like her family had sad news to say, because they just lost her
No,
brother,
that's
and
the
so it
thing.
was like,
No, that's the thing. Like her family is the one that's like against her. It's her and her brother apparently.
Wow.
Her and her brother are
wait,
like
so her
always
brother's not dead either?
apparently
No,
so.
Nope.
Oh,
no,
that's some
he's
what
bullshit.
alive.
what
That was a
weirdness is
waste
this?
of reading.
That's what I'm saying. This is a movie. I'm
What
watching a
kind of
movie right now.
Oh, said I wasted 5 seconds of my life reading that little sorry ass bottom paragraph for the little picture.
Because the way it sounded like she was doing all that shit against her will. That's what it's sounding like.
That girl could never live a normal life ever again.
That's just
Poor
that's
little
so
Tay.
weird. Remember when what's his name? Um, was it Angela Bassett's son? Who was it? That
Yeah,
son had told her that somebody had died.
it
Oh,
was
that
Angela
Michael B.
Bassett's
Jordan
son. It
had
was
died.
Chadwick. Yeah, it's Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
And
Michael
her
B. Jordan.
son had to go on television the next day apologize.
I mean,
I
because
was
it's
about to
like
say Lil
you
Tay
know
is
better.
The fuck?
I was about to say Lil Tay is the new Jackie Chan because there was a point where people kept saying Jackie Chan died, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like,
Yeah.
oh man, that was a classic. That's classic Facebook, where like every year we had to figure out that Jackie Chan died. I'm glad they stopped doing that. Pretty sure do. Um, on to a next. This is probably the last. Do you care? Do you care that they finally gave Tory Lanez a sentence and he's about to do 10 years?
No,
So if you care, is that fair or foul? Do you feel like that was a
Well, he
fair
about to be
sentence
home
or
soon.
no?
like when I
He
tell
about to
you
be
Yeah,
home in what, a
everything,
year?
when I tell you I am completely over everything about that case, I'm over it. I moved on.
and like I said, he'll be alright.
It's
It ain't
time
like it's
to
his first time in prison. The man been locked up before. That'd be a felon. But he'll be home soon.
All I
I
know
hope
is,
Megan find peace. I don't know if she's gonna be able to find peace because
well, according to her, I think she said like she hasn't, you know, been able to. She hasn't been the same since the incident
well, she ain't gonna be
and
the
all
same
the
because
other.
at this point it seems like half of America still just don't ain't messing with her. And with the census, it's like even more people start messing with her. It was like at one point they was like loving her because the verdict came out, the census, and
Cause
they were
she
like right
lied
back at her
about a
hip
lot of
train.
shit pertaining to that.
hmm Well, he gonna be home because he only got to do 85% of 10 years, and then he already got 300 certain days of good conduct or whatever, or from the fact that he been in prison so long already at this point.
So
So
I so out
he'll
of
be
that
home
10, you
soon.
gonna do like 5.
hey, that's
Done.
between him and the
Man, he
Lord.
gonna do probably a year and a half. Probably do 1 year and a half. They're gonna hit him with some good
Let's,
conduct, reduce that
Nah,
time
I
all the way
say,
down, send him on some some what's that house arrest thing? Boom, boom, boom. Child, he gonna be out in a year and a half,
Nah,
I would say 3.
or even
2.
less.
nah. I say 5. He going out of that whole 10. He gonna do 5.
Well, let's see. Let's come back in 5 more years and see if he already home by then.
I'm I agree that he's not going to serve the full 10, but
I don't think he's serving five either. That's deep. Five?
Boozy said he'll do about 3.
Boozy said
What
what? Say that
Boosie
again. You
said?
cut out.
That he'll do about 3. Boozy said 3.
Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, I guess he would know.
But he just got 306 days reduced from his sentencing or like time served. So it was three when we thought he just had 10. So I think he got about a year and a half.
Yeah,
And,
all of this.
Iggy Azalea, I didn't even know they dated. I was just in shock. I'm like who has Tori not dated? That's the weird
Yeah.
thing.
They wasn't even dating. They was fucking. Because remember, he was fucking Megan and her friend.
Yeah, but him and Iggy was in a relationship like way back when.
Oh my.
Okay, that was a relationship. Him and Megan was fucking. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Megan. I'm talking about Iggy Azalea, the little white rapper.
Yeah, I know. And like I said, there's a difference. He might have been in a relationship with her, but him and Megan was fucking.
So nobody even knew him and Megan knew each other.
Yada 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 yada.
Exactly. Because they was just fucking.
Yada yada yada
Little-
yada yada yada. I hate that
Okay.
song. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Well, Father
you're
used to be
a
Megan's
fan,
biggest supporter.
Listen,
I
listen.
remember way before this incident happened, you used to rap for Megan.
I still do. That's my daughter for life. I still do. It's just as a father, sometimes you're gonna be disappointed in your child's choices, but you're still going to stand behind your child. You know, sometimes I have the right to be disappointed because she's too small to be doing that shit. I always told her you are way too fucking intelligent to be messing around with little niggas like that. And she listened and she learned her lesson, and now she out here thriving as she should. Always love my Megan, but Body was a terrible song. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? That was a good song.
No, stop lying to me.
It had a whole dance move and everything. Everybody was doing the dance.
You know what else had a dance? The Cha Cha Slide. R.I.P. to DJ.
I
RP to DJ.
know,
DJ
Casper.
Casper.
RP.
That's crazy.
You know we never
He
got.
was so
We
young.
never got that part 3. We never got that part 3 to Cha Cha
Damn.
Slide. Like we are never gonna get to part 3 to Casper Slide part 3. I'm saying we've been waiting on that since 2000 something. So
It's so
I,
sad to me
That
to
was like
see.
'01. We were waiting for that since like '01.
I wonder if he's cha-cha into heaven.
You know he is.
Like, I wonder if, like, right hand, they turn
turn it up.
Let's hope you up there.
Yeah, I remember us being in A school, and I saw this Spanish girl did not know how to get on beat on none of the black songs, like the Cupid Shuffle or the Cha Cha Slide. She was just offbeat the whole fucking time, and I felt sorry for her because they were like, it's easy to follow instructions, and yet this Spanish just offbeat. I was like, yo, you cannot be fucking serious right now.
Some people just ain't got it.
Right.
Some people just ain't got it. And I know a lot of Hispanic people would probably be like, hey, yo, what the fuck? Because when they come to the Cha Cha Slide, there's plenty of Hispanic people that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you remember another Hispanic person who shall not be named that couldn't roll their hips. You remember that, right?
Oof.
I'm like, oof, bro, you about to get
Oof.
disowned. You gotta. Mm.
Oh man. Oh man. F to the chat for that, bro. All right. On to our final topic. I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with Kai Cenat and the shit that happened in New York.
Yep.
Yeah, my man was doing it like okay. For those that don't know, he was doing a giveaway. I think he was expecting like what 300 people, but it turned from like 300 people to like 6,000, and then all of a sudden it caused a riot where like a lot of ratchet shit was happening. Motherfuckers was getting sturdy on cars. Like a girl climbed a pole in some booty shorts, and people put a football up her ass.
Wait.
Um,
Oh
You
God.
just said that so fucking
What the
casually.
fuck?
So fucking casual. You just
Hold on
sprung the
there.
football up her ass.
That is the most left
it was
field shit I've ever heard.
it's I would say it's another day in New York, but I don't want to put that on y'all. It's like, but
Nah,
yeah, niggas.
yo, we're
I mean,
conditioned to some
I watched
shit,
the
but
man balance a couch.
that's. Uh, I
Yeah,
would
them
say
niggas was
Florida, but I'm
wild.
like, hold on, that sounds like Germany to me. So, but let's go.
Yo, there
Germany.
was a dude in New York that was balancing a couch. Now, this is a different one. He was balancing a couch on his head while riding a bicycle in New York. I was like, that's talented, but that was like, wow, bro.
How in fuck?
Back, yeah, I swear to God, that was like he had to be crackhead strong because that wasn't no light couch. That was a heavy ass couch, and he bounced the shit on his head. Only in New York, but back, back to the guy see that thing. Like niggas was wilding. I was like, I would like the panel's opinion on that. But
This is just remember what I said about the whole fucking Travis Scott shit when his shit happened?
yeah,
Know your power. Know your fucking power. This is getting really fucking annoying. I'm sorry. It's getting really annoying. Because these people just legitimately think they have a big ass platform. They can just do what regular people do. You can't. You can't. The smooth brains and the undesirables latch on to you like fucking glue. You can't just live a normal life now. Everything you say, everything you do will be reflected onto them, and then what they say and what they do will be reflected right back onto you. Unfortunately, that's how it happens. This is the time where people have access to influencers. They have 24/7 access to you, bro. Niggas is watching you at 3 a.m. in the morning with nothing to do in their life because you
Jesus.
over there fucking creating content for them. You over there getting all these motherfucking endorsements and all these deals and shit. And I've seen what he's been doing when he's been rolling him and Speed. You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's the modern day minstrel show if I'm being completely fucking honest with you, because it's getting to a point now where your name is going to be attached to degeneracy. Your name is going to be attached to stupid shit like that. And I'm pretty sure you didn't grind your ass off and attain all that success just for 10,000 random ass motherfuckers to ruin your name. You feel what I'm saying? Like it get to a point where now you really have to understand your influence. If you say that you're an influencer, understand your fucking influence.
For me, my issue is I truly am irritated with these so-called people when they learn these few legal terms and then they want to like add it on to stuff that doesn't have nothing to do with it. Like the police got on national television and threw all these charges at him. I'm just like inciting a riot. Not once did Pastor ever say we gonna run this stuff down. We're gonna jump on top of people's car. And he was there for hours, like a whole hour before it got out of control. It didn't get out of control until the police detail and everybody started showing up, and they started like hitting on those people, and then people started fighting back. So there was a whole lot of things that went on that created this tumultuous of a event. The event started off. They gave out few free like giveaway stuff that they was originally started to give out. Then it became bigger and bigger and bigger. He signed a few autographs, and the police, more police came. They started trying to like contain it. They started pushing some people back. Um, getting angry, frustrated, and then it just went south, and it went all the way south. So for me, it's like inciting a riot. If you don't have a good lawyer, that's just a problem on him at this point in time. You need to go find you a great lawyer because they're trying to add a bunch of charges on you so you can be paying a bunch of stuff. Because they are talking about some police vehicles being damaged, um, people's businesses being damaged, this and that. I was like, that's when you need to start pulling a lawyer real quick because they're gonna add all these vehicles to the fees and fines that they're gonna add on to you. Or you might just need to go find Trump's lawyer because Trump's lawyer done got him out of two inciting riots.
Oh, Trump's legal team has gotten him out of a lot. The
Like,
list of
and
bullets
especially,
he's dodged is very, very long.
yeah, especially with Kai being a black man, it's like you have to, like, I know they're gonna throw all these random big things. Like, people got on there, they was like, oh my God, inciting a riot. When did he ever incite? He's been planning this for weeks now. Is it was like the police they knew, but even they said they was like, we didn't think it was gonna get that big. Ah, y'all didn't, huh? Y'all didn't think it was gonna get that big, and then it got too big, and then y'all wasn't prepared for it. So like the verbiage that was used clearly, like let's be honest. So I
I,
hope he has a good legal team to like make sure he doesn't get screwed over.
I think he was genuinely ignorant. Because at the same time, you're like, hold on, you know how big you are. You know, like, and I did not know until you just mentioned it. What he planned this for weeks. So I'm like, what do you think will happen? But for him to go through with it, I'm like, yeah, you got to be fucking ignorant. But at the same time, like, really and truly, I'm mad at the copper tops because they're the ones that what reason? Why have to act like this? Uh
That's the power of clout. Like D Wolf. Like the thing is, attention is a drug. That shit is more potent than fucking cocaine. When you have someone's attention, and not only do you have someone's attention, but 10,000 other people are paying attention to the same thing that you're fucking paying attention to, there's a lot of fucking power in that. You feel like you're something that's bigger than yourself. So you do anything in your power to show out. You do anything in your power to ensure that other people see what type of shit that you are with that attention. Because now that the attention is attributed to that one thing, you can use that to get other people's attention as well. It's a chain reaction. That's why all the motherfuckers were there.
Up.
You know what I'm saying? That's why all the motherfuckers are there. Like, let me ask you a question, Duo. Like when I realized this, like it blew my motherfucking mind. Like, why is it that whenever something is happening and you see so many people in the same place where that shit is happening, let's say like something like this riot is happening, like 90% of the people are recording it with their phones. Why is that? You already know that shit's going to be posted on the internet. It's because every single one of those people want to go viral. They want to be the ones that fucking post it first.
Exactly.
It's
kind of like how the news works.
Yeah, it's literally like how the news works because they know that whoever gets the attention and whoever generates the most clicks is the one that's going to get some type of endorsement, some type of deal. It's the ultimate clout chase. That's why influencing is so fucking backwards.
Because they want their hashtag on the news, yo.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, bro, you're providing entertainment for the very same people who's trying to use that fucking attention to boost themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sharks eating sharks. I don't get it.
it's like the frequency synced up with everyone, and they're like, yo, let's rage. For what? You're supposed to have a good time, meet your man, sign an autograph, maybe take a photo with him next, as it normally goes. Jesus. And if you don't make it, you were there. If you don't make it up to him in time, you got your phone.
Yep. Oh,
right? You're recording the whole thing. You can't. Nobody could say you weren't there. But you have to act like this. This is, yeah, man. Yeah. Straight up and down. I think, there's more to this, but I ain't going down that rabbit hole right now. But
okay. Just so y'all know, I found a video of the girl with a football up at it, but here's like,
that's real. This shit is real.
What the
there
fuck?
you go. Nigga with the football, but just trying to stuck.
And then y'all gonna
extinction level event, son. Straight up, we need one.
They're talking about sexual assault. Like, bruh, like y'all can't be doing this shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wow.
Fuck with.
Yeah. Look at all those fucking people. Like, COVID still ain't over. You know what I'm saying? They were sitting there talking about, at Evo, a couple people have fucking COVID, and I'm like, bruh, y'all keep playing.
It's supposed to be a rise. For what I hear, it's supposed to be a rise. It was like COVID is now rising again because people are catching it again, or something like that. So, any last words before we move on to our final thoughts?
Understand your power for the love of God. Otherwise, like, it's gonna get to a point. It's legitimately gonna get to a point where nobody is gonna be able to really discern who is genuine and who's just doing it for the clout. And a lot of people are gonna get hurt as a result, as you saw with that fucking riot, because people were hurt. Come on, bro.
Wise words were never said.
I don't understand though. Like, why does he need to understand his power? He's from New York. He's done several giveaways. He was there for over an hour. Did several pictures, several things. The situation didn't get extreme. The same way, there's people that shows up all of a sudden. They want to add on to the mess. People showed up for to do ridiculous stuff to go viral. So you can't, the same way, like, we can all go and say we're gonna go march, and then the evil people come into the march and start doing outrageous shenanigans. It's not, we can't put blame on us, because we created this march, so we need to take blame for evil stuff that other people do.
I hear what you're saying, but I disagree, and I'm going to explain why it is sort of his responsibility. Number one, he is the number one streamer in the world. He's not just some streamer. He's the number one. If you say that you're going to do a giveaway out in New York, who the fuck do you think is going to come?
So he's the number one. He held the number one streamer on Twitch. But he is not the number one streamer in the world.
No, he's the number one streamer in the world. That's what they're saying. Like Kai Cenat himself generates more streams because it's not just Twitch. If you combine Twitch, YouTube, all that shit, he's number one.
He don't stream on YouTube anymore. He only streams on Twitch.
But even if he doesn't stream,
they repost his videos from his Twitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Normally gets only like 10,000 people be on there sometimes.
Yeah,
and on a good day he might get 50K. But he doesn't have the 200,000 that he did for his 30 days anymore. He only gets between 10 to 20K. There's people who naturally have 50 to 80K. So from that 130-day period where he beat the masters and he beat the numbers and everything, that was just a short stint. He's back to being regular, getting his regular 10 to 50K. There's streamers that gets 80, like, Now I understand we want to put Kai on this like high pedestal, but at the end of the day, he's still a 20, I think 21 or 20 year old, 22 year old. I think he just turned 21 or 22.
But did that stop people from not getting hurt? Yes or no?
I could walk outside and get hurt.
But my thing is, they all went because he summoned them. Giveaway. There was a giveaway. This is his influence caused that. That's what I'm saying. Because if he didn't have the giveaway, would all those people be riding there? Yes or no?
New York is always packed on a regular basis. When Queen Naija had walked down the street in New York and
That's
everybody
fine.
started running behind her, would we say, oh, people got hurt because she was walking up and down New York?
She wasn't
And
giving. She
everybody,
wasn't giving anything away though. The context is different. That's just her walking around. She has no control over that. But the difference in this particular case is that Kai Cenat, without any motherfucking warning, just said he was going to do a giveaway.
it was not
Even the
without any
police, no,
warning.
even the
That
police.
was not what it, we heard the police say we didn't think it was going to get that big. So they was well
Exactly.
informed.
So that's what I'm
Do not
saying.
allow do not allow them to gaslight y'all to believe that they did not know he was having this event.
All I'm saying is
They just was not expecting it.
People were hurt
But
as a
the
result.
police was beating on people, so people were attacking
Beat
them
on
back.
people anyway. That's not nothing new. The police beats on people anyway.
So would that could also incite the riot because people were standing there, police started hitting them, pushing them back. That's why some people was grabbing plates, throwing it at them, or like.
All I'm saying is he had the giveaway, and that was the result. It was plain for everybody to see. The nigga made the news. His name was on the news. It wasn't just random ass motherfucker. His name was on the news because as a result of his giveaway, that's what happened.
They only used his name. It was more than just him doing the giveaway.
Okay.
All right. Now, any last words? We go to our final thoughts.
Yeah. So, in regards to how do you pronounce his name? Kai what?
Sanat.
Snot. It sounds weird. It sounds like snot. But anyway, with Kai, I felt like he should have still gotten a permit. We all know how small the fucking streets are. I was down there for Times Square and I almost got squashed with my kids. Like it could be very like even like a little small square part, just with 300 people, it can get fucking hectic. People push, people are rude. They don't know how to say fucking excuse me. Um, I still think he should have gotten a permit not only to protect himself, but to protect his money because we all know I feel like it doesn't even matter which state it's in. Once you have a person of that stature with all that money and influence, they're going to try to find a way to get money out of you. So I felt like just for the hell of it, even if it wasn't going to be crowded, he should have still got that fucking permit because I don't know if y'all have been parking ever in New York City, but have you ever saw like the instructions on what days to park? So like they're like, gotcha, bitch, and then you got a ticket, and it's like, nah, bitch, I could park here. No, it's a holiday, so you need to put that. Like they be on that grimy ass shit. I'm gonna keep it real. And now they got bike lanes and shit, so it's even smaller. I just think that the only part that he went wrong is not having it in an area where you can let people in and kick people out because we also know about Astro World with Travis Scott. That was fully permitted. It was in a large place. I think he should have at least limited it to like people who really are deserving of it. Like make it a reward type of deal. But he just said, okay, 300, come down. And this is New York City. This like I know he's from there, but I think he underestimated. He was probably thinking about the 2004 New York City, the old school New York City, where we didn't go fucking crazy over some fucking celebrity. You know what I mean? Now,
Hmm.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Mm-hmm.
Girls with football asses. You know, I can't.
I saw it coming. That's why I left. It's just
I,
saying.
I can't. So, you know, at the end of the day, he should have got a fucking permit. Um, I'ma just keep it 100. Cops do have a job. I have a couple of friends in New York City cop force, but a lot of them are assholes. And if you live in New York City, you will understand why they don't really have no distinction of who's who. They just beat anybody's ass just because you're in a crowd, you're not doing what they're saying. It's more than one. It's like 300 and now 6,000. Like it got wild. It got wild. I just think he should have gotten a permit and kept it moving just to cover himself. So if he did have to leave, they can't charge him with anything. But
I've been
that's
in
all.
a situation like that.
All those
It should
charges
have brought
gonna
me
drop.
back.
That ain't New Yorkers. I don't know what kind of creatures those are because we don't do shit like that. But whatever. I'm still old
Yeah,
school.
he said that in his apology. Like it wasn't really an apology, but he was just like going off on the people. Like, what the hell was that? Like y'all disappointed me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never seen y'all act like that. He made a video, explaining the situation.
I don't want to be a celebrity. Niggas annoying.
It's a
Niggas is costly.
back.
Oh,
They
okay.
very costly.
All right. All right. We're about to get into our final thoughts, and I want to start with Bruce Leroy himself, aka D Wolf. So that's it.
um. First off, hold on. I have two. I find this interesting. Um. It's about Musk. What's his obsession? 'Cause I want to find this out. What is his obsession with X? Because we have the Tesla Model X. Twitter is now X, and Elon's so-called space agency is SpaceX. No, and what's even funnier is he also had an X.com back in the PayPal days, in the early days of PayPal. So that's on. That's I just find that interesting.
Maybe he just really likes the letter X. Oh,
Yo, right? Maybe it's just that. I don't know.
Maybe his favorite rapper is Exhibit.
I hope it would be nice. Yo, it would be nice if it was that simple with these people.
X to the Z, and we all in the family. X.
But in closing, my final thought is people people don't get mad at their heroes for lying to them, but instead they get mad at the people for telling them that their heroes are lying to them. And that's my final thought.
That's a good one.
yeah, Kai Sanat, bitch ass.
Dion is on you.
Who you said, right?
I said Dion.
I think he's
I think
Still
Dion.
kicking?
I think Dion fell asleep. Last call for. Oh no, there's mute.
No, I muted him.
Oh, you muted him. Yeah, I think he went to sleep. Okay, Material Life, it is on you.
Mm, the month of is it? Yeah, the month of August is definitely back around and find out month. A lot has happened from the brawl in Alabama to Kaiser Knot situation to well. So I just and then now we have Neo and Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx still I don't think Jamie Foxx has even responded or said anything about, the whole situation. I don't know if it's his publicist that wrote that or if it was him that wrote that, but he's real mute and silent right now, hoping it's gonna like boil over. But I don't know. It's a shift in August right now. Black people really not having it. So these black celebrities need to make sure they on the right side. That's it.
Okay. That's it, B. That's your first thought.
Mhm. That's all.
All right. Crystal was on you.
All right. This was inspired by a couple of people I was speaking to today. So basically, you can't keep associating yourself with low level bitches and niggas and turn around and saying either you want royalty treatment and success and straight up acting like a pawn in their game of chess instead of a king or queen in your own. Your game will eventually dismantle, thus, your dreams. Whatever you want will never manifest, especially when you keep telling people your moves on the chessboard and giving away game strategies without being able to make the moves needed to win the game. You open yourself to being attacked, and in my opinion, that is true weakness. Kings and queens never went to another country to tell them how they want to conquer other countries. The mindset occurs with people wanting to be liked, and that will forfeit. They more than likely will forfeit everyone's spot on the board, so you can get played like a pawn, and that's just sad. I call this kind of person a mimicker. They will mimic whatever the other person liked to get a facade of being respected and treated like a king, instead of just putting in the work so that they can get treated like the real thing. Um, these people will give away more than they receive while playing the victim every fucking time. And in 2023, we ain't got time for that. So that's all I gotta say.
All right, Father, it is on you.
I just want to give a shout out to the people over in Niger and Burkina Faso and Mali. The West is really trying them right now because they're trying to renegotiate deals that weren't good for them. And these are from a French territory, so France is especially not happy about that. And then another thing that I also wanted to bring up was the wildfires over in Hawaii because I've been doing a little bit of digging. And first of all, it's very tragic what is happening over there. So my
Mm-hmm.
heart goes out to them. But at the very same time, I also think it is very interesting that the natives were warning about this like 10 years before this shit happened. The natives were literally warning people about this, and nobody motherfucking listened. And now that global warming is a thing, they are now the ones that have to suffer the most because of the fact that people do not want to listen to the indigenous people of that land. You feel what I'm saying? They were even talking about when the wildfires were happening, they had to provision enough resources so that the tourists could be guaranteed safety. And guess who they're going to leave out as a result? You feeling what I'm saying? So I
Uh-huh.
just like it's so fucking disgusting to me because I was actually looking at the demographics of the area that it was that the wildfires were dominating. First of all, that place is fucked up. Like the wildfires were that fucking effective. And not only that,
Did it
but
destroy like a whole town?
yes, it actually did.
Yeah.
It destroyed a whole town, and last time I checked, 32 people were deceased as a result. There was a family that had to fucking go to the ocean because there was just so much fire that they couldn't go inland. You feel what I'm saying? And then to make things worse, there was only one highway that was available for evacuations out of the whole town. There was only one fucking highway.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to get rescued by the Coast Guards. And I'm sitting here and I'm just looking at all the fucking shit that the native Hawaiians have been saying forever, and people just straight up don't listen to them. They even got to the point where they were like, yo, it's getting to the point where we don't even want to see tourists on the island because Hawaii is becoming increasingly unlivable for a lot of the people who inhabited that land for entire generations. And again, I was looking at the demographics, like the demographics for that town that was caught on fire. It was like 27% white, 34% Asian. And I think it was like, bro, the natives were a minority in their own land. You feeling what I'm saying? And they said a lot of them were also mixed race and shit like that because, of course, there's a demographic boost over there. There was only like 1% black from what I saw. There's not really any black people in that particular area. But I just found it very, very, very interesting that that particular area had that demographic the way it did because when they went over to those lands, they built a lot of businesses, they built a lot of hotels and resorts and a lot of shit for the tourists to come over there. But the one thing that really exacerbates that whole thing is just the mere fact that there is no regard or there's no regard or there's no acknowledgement of how native people were there in that land first and how they know ultimately how to cultivate that land in order for it to be used in its highest state, but instead is used for real estate, is used for all this other shit that when the wildfires come in, the shit gets destroyed, and now they have to spend a whole bunch of more money to rebuild the shit. And housing is already fucking super expensive over there because everybody and their mama want to retire over to Hawaii, which drives the prices up. So, in all, I'm just saying, like, my heart goes out to the Native Hawaiians, bro, because they really got fucked in this entire situation, and they still continue to fight to this day to retain their land. And it's a global thing that's happening too. That's why I was shouting out Niger and Mali before I started. Also, shout out to the South Africans, shout out to the EFF because my boy Malema got in trouble because he was singing "Kill the Boer, the farmer," and like even Elon Musk even got on X and he was like, "Man, they talk about they want to kill white people over in South Africa," and I'm like, "Oh, here we go. They hear a song that has a lot of historical meaning, and then they automatically think that it's about them." And it's like, at this particular point in time, when it comes to us indigenous people, the original people on the inhabited lands that we come from, that our ancestors cultivated, and we are their children, we are their descendants, it's really time for us to see, like, yo, they flipped the world upside down. And not only that, but the earth is suffering as a result of them taking control of the resources and using them which way they want to. And I just think it's unfortunate that the wildfires in Hawaii had to remind people that you need to fucking respect the land that you own. Those are my final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to say first things first. I want to say happy birthday to my father. Today is yesterday was his birthday, but he is a Leo and he is turning 60. So I he is my father is one of my biggest heroes. So the fact that he gets to live this long and prosper, I'm glad to see him. He's still in great health and always been the positive outlook. So happy birthday, Dad! I love you.
Happy
Also,
birthday.
thank you. Also, I wanted to end it with a poem that I wrote like 7 years ago that I just found. So, um, to the beautiful woman with many forms, to take the day, the woman that can do everything and does it her way. When you get up in the morning, may you wake up wiser. When you take on a day, may your day be brighter. When you go to school, may your day be smarter. When you go to work, hope the day don't get harder. In your time of leisure, may your beauty be seen. May the aura you give off represents a queen. May you rest your head and sleep like an angel and wake up the next day with the beauty that came to you. And that's it. Thank you for the applause. Thank you.
Thanks.
Um, I would like to, I would like to thank the panel for jumping on. I'd like to thank the panel for jumping on as usual. I would like to thank all of y'all for listening to hear us talk our shit again. Thank you, B. To hear us talk our shit again. This is You Know What? Let me just say podcast, and we are signing out. Peace.
Cheers.